So to start with, come to your most comfortable seated position, whether it's kneeling, sitting cross-legged, and using any supports that you would like to. Try to have it so that your spine is fairly lengthened and the chest is open. And then we can just start by softening the gaze or closing the eyes. Without changing the breath, just take a few moments to observe how your breath is flowing. You can notice if there's any constriction, any blockages. Areas that are neglected or areas that feel a stronger sensation, a stronger vibration than others within your breath. And then bringing your palms now just a touch onto the belly. And inhaling, bringing the breath into your palms. Exhaling softly, awareness in the palms. Move your hands now to the side of the lower rib cage and inhaling to expand to the sides. Complete long exhale. Resting your forearms behind your back, breath awareness to the forearms. Exhale slow. Move your hands to the tips of the lungs, collarbones, inhaling here to the hands. And exhale. We'll move back to the belly, inhaling. Exhale. Side of the lower lungs, inhale. Exhale. Forearms to the back of the lungs, inhaling. Exhale, awareness to the back of lungs. And then hands to the tips of the lungs, collarbones, inhaling. Exhale. And then resting your hands down to the lap, we're going to take a full breath and we'll work through those 4 areas with the inhalation and the exhalation. So we can exhale together, 4 count inhale. Inhale belly, side lungs, back of lungs, upper chest. Exhale, upper chest, back of lungs, side lungs, belly. 2 more breaths like that. And then making your way to the hands and the knees. So we'll continue with a soft belly for the breath here. Onto the hands and the knees. Just starting off inhaling into the belly. Long exhale, hips towards the heels for a little child's pose. Then inhaling to come back up to all fours. Long exhale to child's pose. Inhale to all fours. Tucking your toes under, exhaling either back to a more awakening child's pose with the toes tucked under, or we could lift the knees into downward facing dog. And we'll have about 5 breaths here, either in your more active child's pose or downward dog. If you're in downward dog, just releasing gently through the back of the legs, through the feet. Maintaining a connection with the movement and breath together. If we're in child's pose, lifting the knees to downward facing dog. And then taking your right leg high, inhaling, lift the left heel up. Give space under the body with hips and heart high as we step the foot through and come down to the back knee. We'll circle the arms up, inhale, and then widen softly down, exhale. Again, inhaling, exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale, arms circle back and down to the ground. Keep the collarbones broad. Inhaling into your soft belly. Exhale. You can tuck the back toe, lift the knee up. And then circling here with the arms. So inhale, arm circles forward. And exhale to open and down and around. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale down to the ground. Lengthening the spine, inhaling. And stepping back to downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale to the knees. Release your feet. Exhale, long breath out to child's pose. Inhale to all fours, so you can tuck the toes and lift the knees in a high plank if you like. And then exhale, lowering down slowly to the ground. Tops of feet earthing down. Inhale, lift the heart as shoulder blades draw down. And exhale to lower. 2 more times. Inhaling, shoulders down from ears, strong legs. Exhale. And last one, if you like, upward facing dog or stay with cobra. Knees off the mat for upward dog. And then exhale through to downward facing dog. Left leg high, inhale. Lift the right heel, exhaling. The foot comes through. And we're down to the back knee. Circling the arms up, inhale. And exhale to open. So soft shoulder blades, soft shoulders, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We'll come down, fingertips lightly to the earth. Breathing into your soft belly here. Just encouraging a soft release for our psoas muscle through the deeper hip. And then tucking the back toe under, lifting the back knee, left arm to circle forward as you inhale. And we're opening for the twist and circling the arm down, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Heart follows the fingertips. Exhale. Fingers to the mat. Lengthening your spine, inhaling. This time we're going to step forward to to the top of the mat. Exhale to fold. You can hold onto the elbows, slightly parting your feet here so they're hip width apart. You might like to just have a little bit of a sway, just naturally releasing through the side of the lower back. You can open up a little space around the armpits there by reaching opposite elbow forward away from the hip. And we'll gently center ourselves in this fold, dropping the top of the head down towards the ground. And releasing the hands down. You can start to roll up slowly through the spine. There's a little lift of the pelvic floor to support the lower back and stabilize the lower back. Knees stay soft. And once we're standing, as always, the lovely roll out of the shoulders. And then standing here, you can choose if you'd like to have your feet slightly apart or bring the feet together. Before we move through some more of our shapes and flow with breath, just returning to that breath that we started seated. So it's a 4-part inhale, 4-part exhale, giving full attention to all areas of the lungs. Inhaling to belly, side lungs, back of lungs, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, back of lungs, side lungs, belly. One more breath like this. Just realizing my top might be showing more than I want to. Okay. So together, let's flow with breath. Sweep the arms wide as you inhale. Palms together, pour through your center, exhaling to fold. Inhale, soft knees, flat spine, half lift. Left leg steps back as we exhale. We can drop the back knee down if you like. Inhale to rise up, circle the arms around. Bring them back down to the ground. Then the right arm sweeps forward, inhale. And we circle around, exhale. Then left arm sweeps forward, inhale. Drop the back heel and rise up, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale to draw up. And exhale, soft, long exhale. Inhale, give equal attention to back leg and front leg. Exhaling. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Peaceful way. Inhale to gently lean back, look down to the back foot. Then the arm circles down and we come back to frame the front foot with the hands. Lifting heel and heart and step back, downward facing dog. Inhale to the knees. Long exhale to child's pose. Let's enjoy a breath here to the soft belly. And then coming up to the hands and knees, Or if you're feeling like working a little stronger, tuck your toes and lift your knees to a high plank. So if you're not familiar with Kapalabhati, or if you're pregnant, we'll just continue with a fluid breath here. Otherwise, we're going to take 10 Kapalabhatis in this position. So we draw the navel to the spine with an active exhalation, and the inhalation is just passive as the navel relaxes. So starting inhaling together. Exhale. Then we'll just inhale 3/4 to collarbones. And 10 pumps to the spine. Relax your belly, inhale. Lift the knees, exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here, move through the flow, inhaling to come forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale through downward facing dog. Right leg high, inhale. Exhale to step the foot through. We'll inhale up to the high lunge. Heart space, exhale. And tilt the heart forward, bring most of the weight into that front foot. Draw up through the pelvic floor. Press down into the front foot. Just start to lift the back leg up. We're trying to keep our hips fairly level here. A lot of energy through the inner thigh of the left leg lifting. Press the back foot against an imaginary wall. And then slowly come to standing. Left knee comes up to the heart space. We place the foot down and release the hands. Return to the breath, nourishing all 4 areas of your lungs. Arms sweep wide, inhale. Palms together, exhale, soft shoulders, lead with the elbows as we fold. Inhale, half lift. Right leg steps back, option of the knee to the ground here. Sweep the arms up, inhale. And exhale to open and bring them down to the ground. Left arm sweeps forward, inhale. Exhale, sweeping it back and down. And then right arm sweeps forward. We ground the back heel, lift the knee if it's grounded, and come all the way up, Virabhadrasana 2. Now 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, lengthen the front leg, draw the palms together. And then exhale. Peaceful warrior, leaning back. Turn the head to look down. And then we sweep that top arm round. It frames the front foot. Lift the back heel, lengthen the heart space. And stepping back, downward facing dog. To your knees as we inhale. And a long exhale to release to child's pose. If the shoulders would like it, you could rest your arms by your side for the few breaths here. Another option is to rest the fists or flat palms under the forehead. Just noticing where your breath is nourishing within your body here. As we start to move towards the internal awareness that comes from the practice, withdrawing our senses from the external and nourishing our senses from within. And if you're loving this, of course, you could just stay here, or we'll come up for the Kapalabhati either on the hands and knees or the toes and hands. And if you're pregnant or if you're working in a more soft practice today, then please just stay with a fluid breath. So we inhale slow, exhale completely. Inhale to the collarbones, and 10 pumps. Slow breath in, and lift your knees, downward dog, exhale. You can stay in downward dog or through the flow, inhaling forward, heart space. Exhale, chaturanga. Cobra, upward dog, inhaling. And then transitioning to downward dog with a lift of the deeper navel, exhale. Nice full breath here, centering breath, steadying mind. And our left leg high as we inhale. Lift the knee up into the chest as we step the foot through, exhale. Come to the high lunge, inhaling up. And then heart space, soften shoulders, exhale. Okay, so we just bring the chest a little further forward. Collarbones open, heart has space. And we're pressing down into the front foot as we gather through the deeper abdominals for balance and stability. Back leg floats up and we're pressing into the imaginary wall behind us. Slowly coming to draw your knee up into the heart space. And exhale, the foot comes down. Relax the arms. Internal awareness of breath. How is your body receiving the breath? Arms sweep wide, inhale. Exhale, softly folding through your center. Inhale, half lift. And stepping back to downward facing dog, exhale. A slow centered breath. Draw the inner thighs up to the thigh bones. And then we'll come down to the knees. We're going to take our knees wide. And if you have a towel handy and your knee joint is sensitive, you might like to just fold your towel a few times and just wedge it at the back of the thigh and the top of the calf there. And that will give more space to your knee joint. And we're just going to slowly ease our way into a nice wide knee child's pose. Once we come down, we'll just have a breath through the center. We're going to walk towards the right side, and we'll bend that right elbow a little. Take the left arm forward of the right, left hand forward of right. And then just dropping into the left armpit a little. You could always rest your forehead onto the back of the right hand here. So just creating a little bit of space and release through the left side. You may experience this more so around the armpit area or possibly further into the lower back on the left side. You can start to lengthen the exhalation here so it's slightly longer than your inhale. Nourishing into the left side of the lungs with the inhalation. And allowing a complete exhalation. One more breath. And then coming through the center. Nice breath in the center. If you need to adjust anything for your knees, please do. And then we'll make our way to do the same to the other side. So bend the left elbow, reach the right hand forward of the left. Option here to rest your forehead onto the back of the left hand if you like. Drop down into the right armpit. Drawing the crease of the right hip back a little. So we're encouraging as much length through this right side here. We can nourish the right side of the lung in all areas, from behind the shoulder blade, around the right kidneys, around the armpit, right side of the heart space. One more complete breath, no rush. And then coming back through to the center. For one last breath here at the center, heart melts. We'll make our way slowly up through. Take your time to transition out of this as we have been in it for a little while. Just gently easing up with the hips. One at a time the knees come back. And then we're slowly going to make our way down to rest onto the belly. Relax your feet just a little wide of the hips. Forehead can rest on the back of the hands. And just a little rock here slowly. And then finding stillness, breath moving into the lower parts of the lungs. Stay present for the exhalation, the natural pause that follows the exhale. Just having these little pauses, this little stillness in the practice, just allows us to really listen, to discover. And then taking your time, we're going to roll over onto the back of the body. Use your hands to support that roll. And once we come onto the back of the body, we're just going to bring the knees slowly up into the chest and Knees don't have to be together, they can be slightly wide if that's better for your hip joint. A little rock, a little bit of downward pressure from the hands to the top of the shins. We'll take the arms out wide. You could lift your hips just slightly, shift them a little over to the left, and then exhaling slowly, the knees gently rest to the right side. Soften into the shoulder blades, a little softness through your elbows. And choosing with your head to look up, or if it feels suitable for the neck, we can turn to look away from the direction of the knees. We don't need to become consumed with the knees being stacked. We want the feet to be relaxed, ankles relaxed. And just letting your pelvis stay with the movement of the spine. So we're not sliding that left knee up directly above the right. Or we can create some instability through the sacroiliac joint when we make that when we take that as a priority. So just letting hips and spine stay natural in their alignment. Let's enjoy 2 more breaths. Mind stays in the practice. Bring the head back to the center. If you turn to look to the side, just a little gathering of the low abdominals, and we'll transition with an exhale to the center. Just having a little release there with the hands back onto the shins. A couple of breaths between sides. And then the arms can come out wide again. If you like, lift your tailbone just slightly, shift over to the right, and then we exhale to lower the knees down to the left side. Feet and ankle relaxed. Head faces towards the ceiling, or just letting the head go to its natural position here. As we're starting to move towards our Shavasana, we can encourage the relaxation response through the body with a longer exhalation. Just want to be careful if your blood pressure sits fairly low. It may be better for you just to stay with a balanced inhale and exhale, as a longer exhalation does encourage the blood pressure to lower. And we soften into the last breath. And then the head comes back to the center. Support your lower back with a little activation of pelvic floor and the transition with the exhalation. And then you can just rest the feet down onto the ground with the knees bent. Let your hands rest onto the lower belly, elbows wide, heart spacious. Grounding for a few breaths here. Awareness in the hara space just below the navel, the earth center within your body. we'll transition to Shavasana, just a short one for a short practice. Using an eye pillow if you like, or a little blanket if you're feeling chilly. You can also support under the knees if you would like to keep them a little bent for the lower back. In our Shavasana practice, we're allowing the nervous system and the physical body, the spiritual body to process, digest the practice. Such an important part of the practice, so please gift yourself to stay through to the end. If you would like to stay here, please do. Otherwise, we'll just start with some slow, conscious movement back through the body. And we can bend the knees. And rolling over to the side of the body, resting the head onto the arm just to keep our neck in a more neutral position. Just be careful not to rush into the external too quickly. We can have some space around that transition by being careful to maintain, being aware of maintaining our internal awareness as we gently navigate the external. So just coming up to that comfortable seated position for you. If you have some time this morning, you might like to add on some Nadi Shodhana, maybe 10 rounds of alternate nostril breath. And bring the hands to get the heart space if you're closing your practice. Just observing any internal shifts within, following this time with your breath. Time with creating space in the physical body and bringing some awareness to the mind state. We can gently bow forward, honoring the divine light within each other, ourselves, and that same divine light that we share with all beings. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me.